and the glorious future that was to come. That same hungering for the future is on every page you're about to read, or hear. But there's also an investigation into what's gone wrong. The way technology threatens our relationships, the way ease has led to self-indulgence, the way ongoing racial injustice has been a cancer eating away at flesh and bone. This book exists because the old American narrative doesn't include all voices and is somehow no longer applicable today. This book exists because the traditional American consciousness that John embodies has to be remade. Not discarded, remade. John admits that he feels a bit lost. He bravely speaks for a lot of us. But this book is not about confusion. It's about the American consciousness trying to find its bigger next self. And it's driven by an instinct for recovery. The way we remake our nation is in the warp and woof of everyday life. If we can find better ways to communicate with one another, redeem our moments of suffering, and greet our neighbors, then the net effect will be civic renewal. And so this is a book filled with wisdom, reminding each of us how to lead a better life right now. Individual advancement will serve the common good. The Imago Dei, imprinted on each human being, will be recognized and poured out for a cause greater than self. Our national culture, at its best, has always been about the dance between the health of the individual and that of the community. John is simply choreographing it for a new era. There's a moment in the pages ahead in which one of John's sons is in a period of confusion and finds clarity by going on a wilderness adventure. Hardship, challenge, and simplicity in the woods. If there's an antidote that runs more clearly through American history, we don't know what it is. The true sources of our wealth are not stockpiled in the banks or in our most civilized parts, but in our nature, in simplicity, in the original gifts God gave us, and how we struggle against and with one another. It's possible that America is in decline. We had our moment, and it's time for China or somebody else to take the lead. But this book is a reminder that America is not merely a GDP, but a way of being. And the instincts and belief we hold in common are still there, if we just remember our younger hope and apply it to the challenges at hand. David Brooks and Ann Snyder.
Prologue: Restoring the Soul of America. I never saw my dad drink a drop of alcohol. My family members, fundamentalist Christians, were deeply opposed to the bottle. I was raised to believe that teetotaling was the only proper path. But Dad slurred his words a lot of evenings and behaved in ways that just seemed weird. Maybe I shouldn't have been shocked when my mother announced that Dad was headed to rehab when I was 17 years old, but I was. I'd swallowed the religion thing whole, attending church every Sunday morning and night, every Wednesday night for prayer meeting, and every Friday night for youth group, as the evil in the world out there was renounced. But the moment I heard my mother's news, I realized that the darkness of deceit, lies, and escapism had lurked in our own home, in my own father, maybe even in me. We joined my dad for a week at the rehab center as a family exercise. While the rehab center was fine by 1983 standards, for this high school senior, the whole experience prompted more questions than answers. There I was educated in the psychology of birth order in families of addiction. As much as I hated to admit it, I was a poster child for the oldest sibling. Suddenly, I wondered whether my goal-oriented perfectionism was just a twist of fate. Did I even have choices? The experience shook me to my core. Even though I'd believed that getting into an Ivy League school was a major achievement, it suddenly felt hollow. It now seemed I was fated for that path, programmed by my birth order to do nothing other than achieve. While an Ivy League education was a huge opportunity for a working-class kid, I decided I couldn't take advantage of it without knowing who I truly was. Way before anyone talked about taking a gap year between high school and college, I decided not to enroll for classes at the University of Pennsylvania. Instead, I bought a bus ticket and headed out into the highways. Before the age of cell phones, the internet, and constant communication, I put my savings, a little over $1,000, into my pocket and boarded a Greyhound.